Hello. This is actually the intro for today. I'll probably have a time lapse of me doing work in the morning, but I don't think I started the video. Anyway, today is day 21, April 30th, Wednesday, 2025. Our pretty good day since I've woken up so far. I've been undisciplined. I've been not going to bed when I say going to bed. I should get off my phone at 8 o'clock and then not go back on it. And that's making me go to sleep later, and then it's taking time away from my day the next day, and then I can't get into like a routine. And when I go to sleep later and I wake up later and don't wake up when I want to wake up, I'm not as disciplined throughout the day. That's just something I have to work on. I'm currently listening to, I'll get into my day and then I'll get into what I'm listening to and how that applies to being disciplined at any time of day. Woke up, made breakfast, then I did some work on the calendar app. I'm so close to being done with the calendar header. I think the only thing I'm working on right now is dragging multi-days. So when you're creating a new event and you're dragging it across multi-weeks, not multi-days, multi-weeks, it will go to the next week and then save on the correct day. But I'm having a problem when I drag to the next week and then I'll go another week. If I come back 1 week, so I'm only 1 week from the original start day, then it won't show, the ghost block won't show in the right way. It will show as if I was coming from the second week in the future and not still the original start date. So I think if I finish that, I'm done with the header, which is crazy because this has caused me so much problems, and I'm excited to make progress and get this app done. I really want this app to be something good. So one, I can make money, and two, I can continue to work on it and then not have to spend my time doing something else, working on something else to support myself. Then I went to the gym. It was my fitness day, 60 minutes on the bike because I'm still struggling with my Achilles. So off feet is going to stress it a lot less. Something that I discovered by accident today is that I kind of realized this while biking, but if I have the pedals to where it's on the top of my heel, or not the top of my heel, on the top of my foot, so where my toes are, I could consider that the top, just the portion that's away from my heel, it will still strain my Achilles, but the pedals I was using today were more so in the middle of my foot, and I had very little pain, very little discomfort, and I did very well. I got 35.86 km in 60 minutes. I was aiming for I think it was 7 km every 12 minutes. Yeah, 7 km every 12 minutes, and I thought I was doing really well, and then I realized in the last 10 minutes of my workout, I had to really push to be able to make that, and then not just making it, I wanted to push beyond it because I don't want to just meet standards. If I want to be the best, I have to continually push the standard into something new, and I can't just do something like a goal that I set for myself. I have to push myself beyond the goal. So in the end, I'm just like a better, not like better person, but better version of myself. I'm slightly stronger, slightly willing to go longer, slightly willing to push more. And I think over time that will compound and just make me overall more coherent with who I want to be. I went to the grocery store, got some rice, some steak that's already kind of cut up into cubes, and then broccoli. I already have carrots, and then I'm going to make some dish that ChatGPT said for me. After making food, I'm going to do my juggling, which I didn't do yesterday, so I have to do a lot better at my self-talk. During my run, I like to listen, I think I've said this a little bit, not my run, but my longer state, really any of my fitness sessions. If I'm doing them on a treadmill or a bike, I like to listen to conversation a lot more than listening to music. So I was listening to a podcast with Andrew Huberman about stopping behavioral at first it was substance and behavioral addictions, but I was more interested in the behavioral part because I think that I am like addicted to YouTube or Instagram. But in listening to the podcast, since I'm not specifically addicted to YouTube or Instagram, I'm just addicted. So I'm not necessarily addicted to any one platform. I'm addicted to the short-term dopamine hits that I get from consuming content on those channels. So I have to do a better job. Something, I'm not completely done with it, but something that they're talking about right now is that these times will come when you are going to be angry, or you're not going to be as emotionally stable all the time. So it's not about trying to avoid those times. Like I am trying to avoid YouTube by not going on it. It's about forecasting when I am in that period where I do want to go on YouTube, or I am in YouTube and I like don't stop. How do I respond so that I respond properly? How do I have the tools so I respond properly in that stance? That might be me having blockers. So when I go on YouTube, it has a little reminder for me to like keep working, keep pushing. Or if I want to allow myself to be on YouTube for a little bit because I want to explore something, it will have a time constraint for like say 15 minutes, and then it will cut me off and say like, okay, it's time to get back to work. That's something I'm going to be trying to develop within the app. So when I have it in an actual application and not just web-based, it will be able to be on your computer and then connect, like see like what you're searching, and if it is YouTube, allowing either having preset things or allowing you to set it for a certain amount of time so that you're very purposeful for what you're doing, and so you don't get lost doom scrolling or doing whatever, and then 4 hours later you realize, oh my god, I should have gone to sleep at 8 and it's now 12. So that's just my thoughts. I'm a little bit tired because pushing in fitness, I was absolutely soaking wet. Just because I think I sweat a lot and I was pushing very hard. I have rest of the day. I said I was going to do my juggling, and then I think I'm going to just work on the calendar header. And then once I finish that, once I finish the calendar header, I'm going to switch over to the nutrition app and start doing the actual budget, because they gave me a realistic, like what they want. And then on top of that, they gave me, I don't know how to describe it. It's like important features, a feature list of what they want in the app. And I'm going to have to, because they didn't really give me that at first, and they've done a little bit more research. I told them previously that I wasn't going to be able to work on this until Tuesday, which was yesterday, because I was very busy with exams. And it's now Wednesday, so I have to start working on it. I talked to my dad just like briefly, and he said that he would help me look over it before I send it out to them. I'm thankful for my dad for helping me out through this, because it is hard for him, because he's part on the business and part on my side, so he has to balance between that. But I'm glad that he has my interests, as well as like the company's interests. He's not gonna screw them over. He's been working there for, I don't know, but I think he's been working there since he's gotten a full-time job, and he's now like 1962, 2025, 65, 63. So I did say happy birthday to my dad in case anyone was interested. Didn't miss that. Tomorrow is my roommate's birthday from back at USC, not here. So I'm going to have to text him happy birthday. Feel a little bit tired, but I want to really get control of my mind. I don't want to fall into my distraction. I don't want to fall into those states where I'm just like doom scrolling. And I think I talked about it a little bit, but that conversation I had with Akis last night, I want to be someone who has control of their mind so that what they do is very purposeful. And I don't think I'm at the state right now, but I have to continually work so that one day I will be at that state to where everything I do is very purposeful, even if it is resting. Say the purpose of the next hour is for me to go take a walk because it really clears my mind and allows me to really be locked in for the rest of the day, then that's fine. Or I want to watch like a funny video on YouTube. Like those are just some examples, but I want to be very purposeful for what I do and don't let things that aren't supposed to be creeping in creep in. Email I did get today. So I think I previously told y'all we were working with an NGO to run ads for them. I got an email a few days ago, which I didn't respond to because I was in the middle of exams and the presentations. And then he sent me a follow-up email today at 3 a.m. saying how angry he was with the lack of communication and how I didn't close out. And I thought about it and I could have responded like, yo, shut the fuck up. I have no obligation to give you shit. But that's not who I want to portray. That's not who I want to be. So I gave him the next steps of what he's supposed to do and apologized saying, sorry, I haven't been able to really get back to you. I've been really busy with exams. I had 4 presentations on top of final exams. So I haven't really been checking my email. I haven't really been paying attention to your campaign because I didn't say this, but I just said like, oh, I had a lot going on. And then I could have also said like, just so you know, I have no further obligation to do anything for you. And the bad marks you said you would give me on Google literally mean nothing to me. I'm about to graduate from the school, so they mean less than nothing. And like, I don't know, it just like showed me that even this dude's like 79, but getting angry with people, especially with someone who you're asking for help with, don't bite the hand that feeds you. I could have read that email and said like, hey, like, sorry, I've been really busy, but your response pissed me off so much that I'm not going to do anything more, and like said what was on my mind. But who does that help? I don't want to stoop down to someone else's level. I want to be at my own standards, and then other people can either like rise up to them or they don't have to be in my life. And luckily, Steven's not someone that has to be in my life. He can go on with his Living Globes society. I hope he figures out how he can properly market it, because my teacher was saying how basically it was a stupid idea. I'm not going to say like my opinions on it. It was very hard to market. There's just like, they're not trying to solve a problem. They're trying to inflict like a doctrine on people about how they should be more connected with the earth, which is hard to get people to raise money for. It's not like there's a problem. They should either like position themselves where they're trying to really help climate change, or they're trying to like they're not solving a problem. They're just trying to change people's minds. And that's not how like businesses like are successful. So that's my little rant on that, but trying to always respond the best I can, trying to be authentic, whether it's to my roommates, whether it's to the camera, whether it's to my friends, whether it's to anyone I meet in the future, and being okay with showing like my real self, if that's like not being interested in a conversation because it's something like either I don't agree with, like, or whatever. But gonna make lunch now. Hopefully it won't take too long. Hopefully cutting up meat doesn't take an hour like it usually does. It is already a little bit pre-cut, but I am a slow cutter and our knives aren't very sharp, so hopefully it goes better. But I'll talk to y'all later. I don't know when, maybe after juggling, maybe later. I do have practice tonight, so that's going to be enjoyable time. I want to work hard. We just lost 8-1. If everyone's not like working hard, like I'm not in the right team. I don't know. We don't have a game this weekend, so we don't have practice on Friday. We don't have a game the next weekend, so I don't know if we're even going to have practice at all. I just want to keep working, keep getting better. We have maybe two or three games left, and I don't want to lose. Since I've joined the team, we're 1-2 if you count win, tie, loss, and I want to end the season with more wins than I have losses. I know we are playing one really bad team that is they're worse than the team we beat 10-0. So still have to be serious for that, still have to take them serious, take the game serious, but I don't want to be a loser. Simple as that. And then throughout the summer, I called my grandma yesterday. I have confirmation that I can stay in the apartment in Croatia for the summer. They for sure won't, they're going to be deciding when they're going to come mid-June, because my grandfather just had surgery to fix his irregular heartbeat, and they have a follow-up appointment in mid-June. So after that, they're going to be deciding when they're going to come. I'm personally okay if they take their time to come, or if they come immediately and then pick me up and we go to the other house. Being in the main city in Dubrovnik, like, it would be nice because I'll have a gym that's available to me. But if they come early, like mid-June, like shortly after the appointment, then I'm gonna come with them. Like, I'm not gonna say like, oh hey, like, y'all have fun. Like, I think that's a little bit disrespectful. Yeah, so I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.